Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something different. That's right. I am going to talk about some unpopular Mario opinions I want to share with all you guys. So, you know what that means. I know I had some massive hot takes, so people are truly going to disagree with me in the comments. So, let's begin. I personally never liked how early renders for the Mario and Luigi games give Luigi shorter overalls, meaning that he got these ugly striped socks and to me it just instead of coming across like a sword done and just such an unnecessary stereotype of the goofy character needs to showcase socks. Like, no, Luigi doesn't need that. He just needs to be handsome, and that's it. Mario DS's roster is mediocre with only 12 playable characters or 13 if you want to count Shy Guy. Like, people say Mario Kart 7's roster is bad for cutting fan favorites, but like, the thing is that Mario Kart DS also cut out a ton of characters from Double Dash such as Birdo, Bowser Jr., Diddy Kong, Toadette, etc. But I don't see anyone complaining about that. And like, sure, now everyone knows who Rob the Robot is, but I'm talking in a perspective for when the game came out. Like, I'm curious of how many players were like, oh man, I can't believe Birdo didn't make it into Mario Kart DS in favor of some random robot who was obscure at the time. This one might age poorly or well depending on when Mario Kart World comes out, but honestly, I don't want Baby Part in that game. I mean, we love Baby Part, but like the thing is that there are plenty of other tours that they haven't been remade yet. Well, Baby Part has been like 4 games. Like, I'd rather have a bad track getting another remake over the 400 SNES Rainbow Road remake. So like, I do not want another Baby Part remake. Sorry. The Koopa Kids or Mini Bowsers or whatever you want to call them don't need to come back. Like, they were perfectly fine for the earlier Mario Party games, but like, once Bowser Jr. came out, like, do we really need them to come back? Like, Bowser Jr. has history, while the Koopa Kids are literally just chibi versions of Bowser as minions. Like, I'm sorry, I don't miss them. In the earlier Mario Party games, the objects in the minigames were originally used the character-specific colors. For example, Mario would get red, and Peach would get pink, Yoshi would be green, etc. But later games had since changed it to be generic player colors, and I just think it was honestly unnecessary because every other spin-off game still keeps character-specific colors for the objects, but for Mario Party, they can't. I am assumed they did this because the roster was getting bigger, but honestly, it's just unnecessary because character colors are so much cooler than just having boring player colors and make the objects feel unique. Mm. Every time you will play that game, the object would correspond on what character you'll be using that. So that just reducing them to boring in red, blue, green, and yellow for specific players is honestly made an inferior the mini games. Like, I really hope they would bring one specific colors for the objects in the mini games one day, because let's be honest, we all love rainbows, we all love colors. And speaking of colors, that leads into my next unpopular opinion. 3DS Rainbow Road looks worse in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because if you look back at the stage and how it looked on the 3DS, you can see how colorful and beautiful it looks, like a natural rainbow. But then if you look how the track looks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the booster course pass, the track looks way too blue, like it's so overly blue. Like, yeah, you can see some of the colors, but like, it just comes across as more blue than actually rainbow. And like, I don't know, guys, you know what that reminds me of? The Rainbow Dash Equestria Girl dolls, and how she originally had her hair fully rainbow before the later dolls made her hair so overly blue that they make her feel more like Blue Dash instead of, Rainbow Dash. And that's exactly how I feel on this particular version of Rainbow Road. It looks like it's a massive downgrade on how it looked back on the 3DS way back in 2011. Okay, so this is gonna be a massive hot take, but hear me out, folks. I honestly do not care for Wall Peach. If you don't know, Wall Peach was a character that was planned to debut in Mario Tennis and later Mario Power Tennis as a rival to Peach, similar to Wario and Waluigi, but she was ultimately scrapped in the end. And honestly, I don't really care for them. Apparently, she was planned to be like the boss for Wario and Waluigi, but like I don't know, so many media already had like this trope of having the sassy, bossy leader and the goofy sidekicks slash henchmen that I don't know. I just personally think that Wario and Waluigi are just perfect as a duo together. And I especially like that they aren't the generic villain too of the wacky inventor and gentle giant. It's such an overused cliche. But if they want to get Peach a rival, I had a much better idea. Um, you know, Captain Zero from the Wario Land games. Like, I think she would make a perfect rival for Peach. Like, a pirate versus a princess. Like, so much better than just having an evil princess. And while we are on the subject of unused characters, there were also plans for another female character in Mario Power Tennis named Potato. That she would have been a little girl, part of a royal family, and she would have been Power's girl. Other than that, there's not really a lot known about this character, other than she was unused. And honestly, I care more about this character than Wall Peach. Hell, you know what else I actually care more about? All of the unused birds from Angry Birds Phoenix. Like, I don't care if Wall Peach would ever get made at some point. I actually honestly care more about Drill Bill and even Potato than Wall Peach. The rosters for the early handheld Mario sports games were not great in my opinion because who are these random human characters? Like, the majority of characters in these games are just a bunch of human characters rather than established Mario characters. Yeah, pretty strange because who are you, people? The most notorious example of this is Mario Tennis Power Tour on the Game Boy Advance because 30 of the 36 playable characters are random humans. Like, where's Daisy? Where's Diddy Kong? Where's Yoshi? Where's Wario? Heck, this is actually the only game so far that Waluigi has appeared without Wario. Yeah, very interesting. Honestly, the Mario characters felt like they were thrown in the last minute to sell more copies. I've seen some people saying that they were disappointed that everyone except the Yoshis and Nabbit played the same in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, but in all honesty, I'm completely okay to win them. Yes, it would have been cool if characters had like different abilities, but here's the thing. If they did, I had a feeling that Peach and Daisy would be the only ones that people would play because they happen to be the most broken ones of the whole game. It would be, honestly, that would be just unbalanced. And besides, you had the badges so that you can have the characters like say if you want Luigi to do his high jump, you can just use the high jump badge. Like, it's not like you can't have abilities in the game. The Brooders did not deserve their hate. I think there were pretty solid bosses in Super Mario Odyssey. Like, I see so many people hating them because they're just carbon copies of the Koopalings. Why they couldn't have thrown it in the game? But like, I think it's pretty ironic because around this time the Koopalings were getting so much hate because they were being so overused in the new Super Mario Bros. Games, and as well as taking many character slots in Mario Kart 8. So I'm perfectly fine when having a new batch of enemies for Odyssey. Heck, the boss fight in the Robo Brutal was so cool. Like, honestly, that was a fantastic boss. I really enjoyed this. And I honestly enjoyed the Brutals. Don't at me. I didn't like the limitations that Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle had, that you can only have Mario or at least one rabbit in the team. I understand they did this because they didn't want overpowered combinations, but it just ends up making a lot of the combination teams to look the exact same because it would either be Mario, two rabbits, or Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, and at least one of their rabbit counterparts. Which is honestly, I'm glad that the sequel, Sparks of Home, got rid of that and allowed us to choose us what character team combination we want because I like variety better. Speaking of crossovers, I feel the real cause of the declines of the Mario and Sonic games was because of the rosters. I mean, for starters, the London and Sochi games did not feature any new playable characters. It was the exact same rosters that we got in the original Winter games. But that's only for the home console versions because, oh, the handheld version of London is worse. Because Mario, Sonic, and the Mii's are the only characters that are playable in all events, while everyone else is limited into just 2 events. And this continued with the 3DS version of Rio. And speaking of Rio, we finally got new playable characters, but on the Wii U version, the newcomers are limited into being playable for only 1 event. Some maybe they got for like the dual version, but still. And yes, Token continued this trend. And it's just so unfair because players are so tired when playing with the exact same 20 characters I've been playing on the previous centuries. Like, what is the point of introducing new playable characters if they're just stuck being exclusive to just 1 event? And you wanna know what it reminds me of? The Pretty Cure All-Stars movies, in which, because the cast was becoming a lot bigger in each new movie, they had to reduce the amount of speaking roles. Now, besides the newest team, they always choose the exact same cures to have speaking roles, while everyone else is limited to just having silent roles. And that's what I feel about the Mario and Sonic games when it comes to rosters. Like, I want variety. We want everyone to be given the spotlight. Everyone should have been playable in every event. Odyssey Central's hatred for Rosalina is not funny. But in all seriousness, I personally found that channel to be pretty mad as he's constantly repeating the exact same jokes. So, Microbite and Shrine for Smash, the bite of 87, but his hatred for Rosalina is just frustrating, and there are 2 videos I want to showcase. First is his ranking of Palutina's guidance.
79. Rosalina. In this Palutena's guidance, we learned that yes, the Lumas do indeed die to protect Rosalina. How can you Rosalina stands go around calling her a caring mother figure to the Lumas when she is clearly just using them in order to have disposable bodyguards for herself? I mean, Veriti says that Rosalina doesn't think it's that big of a deal, which is pretty shocking to Pit, of course, because what type of evil person would set their own children up for that?
You can already tell that he took this out of context because, first of all, it was Biberi who said that it wasn't a big deal, not Rosalina herself there. And second, it's pretty ironic that he was asking the audience what type of evil monster would send children to do something cruel like that, while at the same time, the text had Palutina saying, quote, Lumas will sacrifice everything to protect Rosalina, unquote. Why you didn't read that, Mr. Odyssey Central? Was it because that would have prevented you to call Rosalina a bad character, a bad mother, or specifically your favorite word, cringe? Another video that bothered me would be on his ranking of the Mii costumes in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where he says this.
Rosalina, I don't like you. Yeah, rigged entry, but before you all comment saying I'm biased, every ranked video on YouTube is biased. They're all opinion-based. Your comment literally means nothing.
But what exactly you don't like about Rosalina? Why do you don't like her? Like, I can respect people not liking a specific character, but if you don't get a natural reason as to why you don't like it, then I'm sorry. You're just being unfairly mean to the character. Like, I like Rosalina. I think she's pretty cool there, and maybe I feel like people give her too much hate because of the 2010s, like, overusing her way too much, that she's starting to appear so often, as opposed to, like, other characters, maybe Daisy, but I don't know, just give me an explanation, obviously, Central. Like, stop treating her like a punching bag for no reason other than just being different from the rest, okay? So those were my unpopular Mario opinions. Like, when any video related to hot takes, do you agree from what I said, or you disagree? You're free to comment down below your opinions on my own opinions, but you can also tell me your unpopular Mario opinions. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.